Welcome back to Doing Football. Today, getting ready for the Week 3 slate, the Sunday-only slate on OwnersBox. We're going to build a couple lineups for you again. Last week, I think the best one was we had Lamar, and did we have Marquise Brown there? I know we had Lamar in some lineups for the Sunday night, which was helpful.
That would definitely have been big for us.
I think that was our best play on the week. So I'll get into first a few of the tidbits from last week, some of the roster percentages and highest roster players on the week. So Naji Harris was far and away the number one.
Kind of surprising.
He was 29, almost 30% rostered.
It has to be because he was a low price. I think we lowered him quite a bit.
Price came down, yeah, and he had a pretty good week, a pretty solid week. So that was a change of pace there. Justin Herbert, the Chargers offense was a big target for a lot of people.
Everybody liked that.
Mike Williams was good. Justin Herbert, the interceptions didn't help you there, so he wasn't great. Kenyon Drake, again, people notice.
Big bust.
It seems like every time we're like, oh, an injury, okay, this guy's salary's already set, so we get an advantage here. It never ends up.
Yeah, it never ends up working out.
Tyler Higbee, big miss. He was highly rostered. Tom Brady paid off for people. Russell Wilson, Teddy Bridgewater still up there as well. Elijah Mitchell didn't work out too well. He was near the top. So some of the guys that were from last week that were just highly rostered and on some of these lineups.
The theme seems to be it just never makes sense to go for those guys who everybody's going to be taking.
Yeah,
I think even if they do hit, what's the point of it? You get no upside.
Yeah, we're not bringing ourselves a big advantage with that. But the bigger performers, Lockett, Williams, and Cooper Kupp, those three guys were in last week's 10K
the winning lineup last week. The running backs did shit. It was like Kenny Gainwell and Ronald Jones or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Just goes to show how big of an impact those wide receivers had in the lineup.
So again, we're in the 50K Sunday only contest, $10,000 grand prize. You can use promo code Drew9. You're going to get a $10 free entry into the contest. And then as well, we're giving $25 deposit bonus. So any first time depositors, you deposit as little as $10, you're still going to get $25 to spend. So you can put in as many as 25 entries in here, but we're going to give you, 3 for free. Plus you can get into some other contests as well with the money we're giving you. So let's get into some lineups. Let's try to see if we can build two again this week. I want to start with, we talked about George Kittle.
Yes.
I think I want to
Yes, that was one I was going to talk about too. I love the Jimmy Garoppolo George Kittle stack this week. Because Jimmy Garoppolo, he's very cheap. I believe he's only 5,700. Yeah, 5,700 against the Packers in a game that probably should be, I'd assume, decently high scoring.
Yep.
So it's going to go back and forth. And then, as we mentioned on the start sit video, George Kittle, I think he's going to have a great week this week.
Yep.
Debo's probably going up against Jair Alexander. Ayuk, we still don't even know what's going on with him. So George Kittle is going to be the primary benefactor of that. And now the fourth highest priced tight end below T.J. Hawkinson, 5,900. Absolutely love that. It's a great stack to start off the roster. Yeah,
that's where I wanted to start. And now me and Jared do play each other every week in some in-house contests. Yeah. So if he just said that, I just finished building a few lineups and that stack is in there. So I might have to make a change. But I do like that play. So let's fill out the other quarterback position. I think we might as well do now.
Yeah.
I really like Russell Wilson this week. I have him as my third-ranked quarterback on the week. He is the fourth highest priced quarterback. And you do need to get one of these top tier options. Like I'm pretty sure Kyler Murray's been in both of the $10,000 winning lineups the last 2 weeks with his performances. Yeah. So I'm looking to spend on tight end and quarterback this week.
Yeah, it just seems like the people who take the quarterbacks that perform the best, and it always ends up being Kyler Murray, just have the best weeks. So getting a high priced quarterback seems like to be a good investment.
Mm-hmm. I'm also, I'm willing to go back to the well on Justin Herbert. This is still a good matchup. I thought he played really well last week. Penalties were a killer for the team to take away some scores, and then as well, the 2 interceptions he threw really weren't on him. Keenan Allen fell in the end zone on the one route, so he did play well. I think you're eventually going to get that big performance you're looking for from him in terms of where you'd spent in season-long draft capital. So I'm not afraid to play him.
For sure. We both like stacking our quarterbacks. So what do you think is a better stack, Russ with DK or Russ with Tyler Lockett?
I'm gonna go DK.
Yeah, wow. I thought you were gonna go Lockett for sure.
I'm gonna go DK. I
mixing it up.
He torched the Vikings last time they played when they played last year. They do not have anyone in this secondary that can. Not very many people can compete with DK Metcalf in general, but in terms of size and someone who can not just keep up with him in terms of speed, but also contested catch, they don't have anyone.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I think that's the right play because at this point, everybody's going to be looking at Lockett. They see he's had 2 monster weeks. They're like, he's the guy to stock with Russ. And since everybody's doing that, you have to fade him.
Yeah.
Fade him, take the other guy, and if the other guy goes off, huge advantage for you.
So why don't we just try to spend here a bit on a couple guys, and then let's
see what we got at the end.
Move at the end. I think we play we go to Chris Godwin this week.
I like that. I think Chris Godwin's going to have the best week of all the Bucs wide receivers. You know, Jalen Ramsey's on the outside. He's going to be covering Mike Evans, maybe some AB, but not Chris Godwin in the slot.
AB COVID.
Yeah, AB might not even play, which even better for Godwin here. So yeah, I agree. I like that play. I'm probably going to have no Mike Evans in any of my lineups and a lot of Chris Godwin. So that's a good play there. What do we think? Do you think we should spend at flex or running back here?
What do we have average left?
We have 43.25, so very low average.
Okay, so let's look at some cheaper options. I think let's start at running back since we haven't looked there yet.
Yeah, we'll scroll down a bit here. There was a couple of guys.
So Javonte sticks out to me at 4,700. I think he's vastly underpriced, but I do worry that he'll be someone that will be rostered by a lot of teams this week because it is the Jets. I do want to keep him in mind, but again, you know, it could be a situation where you're just not picking up a lot in your competition with him.
He's slightly more, but I really like Mike Davis too. He's only at 4,900.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a play that a lot of people are going to take advantage of.
Yeah.
So let's throw that in here and see what happens.
I like that actually. Wasn't even thinking about that at the time. What do you think about Daryl Williams?
See, I don't trust that at all because I don't think the Chiefs are going to run the ball that much to begin with, and even if they do, I don't think they're going to take that much away from Clyde. That Darrell becomes a good play. He's just going to be very touchdown dependent. Yeah. I don't think he's going to score another touchdown this week.
I do want to find someone we can spend, you know, between 4,000 is the minimum for running backs. Yeah. I do want to find a way we can spend like between 4 and 4,400.
Michael Carter? He's got a tough matchup against the Broncos, but he's getting more involved. I wouldn't mind, obviously we have to go cheap with this other running back here, and he's probably the cheapest option that has some upside. Yeah,
I loved his game last week. He has the chance to earn some more touches and carries in the offense. He was decently involved. Tevin Coleman wasn't really involved at all last week. It was Ty Johnson and Carter. Yeah, he was efficient. I'm willing to play him because I know the matchup's not great, but I mean, I think this offense, if it wants to be successful, might need to make things a little bit easier on Zach Wilson in terms of, you know, dumping the ball off or screens, getting the ball out of his hands quickly. Because even when he was not under pressure last week, I think all of his interceptions were without being under pressure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then he had 4 picks. Yeah. So bad. Now,
so we saved
one guy I won in this lineup, and you're going to hate that I say his name because I keep saying his name over and over this week. Delmore, $4,600. I love that. I think he's going to have another big week. $4,600 is very cheap.
It is cheap, yeah, definitely. He's like around the price that a guy like Zach Moss in terms of running backs is. Who's there for wide receivers around that price?
Tim Patrick, KJ Osborne, Devontae Parker, Tyler Boyd, Laviska Shenault.
Yeah, I'm okay with playing him considering the matchup. Like I don't think that's a bad option, especially at his price. We're getting a good number with him, so I'm willing to put him in the lineup for sure.
That leaves us with just $3,600 for our last guy here.
Okay,
so we have to go very cheap.
Elijah Moore is there at 30. I like Jalen Guyton. I know I've talked about him last week and it just didn't hit.
It didn't work.
But in this range, I think, it's either like a guy like Jalen Guyton, Quintez Cephas, or Demarcus Robinson. What do you think of those 3 guys?
I probably would say no to Cephas just because I'm assuming he probably gets Marlon Humphrey. And there's no way he beats Marlon Humphrey. He's nowhere close to being good enough to beat him.
I'm not sure. I'd be surprised if he earns shadow coverage. I would think Humphrey was in coverage a lot against Darren Waller in week 1.
Oh, really?
He was running with him a good amount. So maybe Hawkinson is someone he's more focused on. But I get what you're saying there. It could be a tough matchup for him. But I do think that these are 3 solid options, to be completely honest with you. Like Demarcus Robinson's great touchdown upside. Cephas has seen tons of volume with Jared Goff. And then Guyton is definitely a ceiling play, but he has been on the field plenty. So Elijah Moore is another option. It is a tough defense.
I would hate to put the 2 Jets in the lineup. That's the only reason I would look away from Elijah Moore.
Yeah. Anthony Schwartz, someone at 3,400 as we make our way down. with the injury, we still don't know about Odell Beckham's status. Maybe by the time this video is up on Friday, we might know. But
yeah,
those are the guys I would look to right now. You could.
I'm thinking Guyton here.
Okay,
he's got to have a good game. It's probably going to be high scoring. You thought last game was going to be high scoring against the Cowboys, but didn't end up coming up to be that way. So if this is high scoring, Guyton could be the guy.
Okay, so let's go build another one then. Again, you can put the promo code in.
Final lineup here.
Yep. Well, promo code's there to put Drew9 if you want to use it or if you haven't used it already. Okay, right. So let's go back again and look at the quarterback position to start. That's what I like to do when I'm building these.
Yeah, always start with the quarterback. Just seems to be the easiest way. Now, one stack that I really love is Lamar Jackson with Marquise Brown. Now, that's a very expensive quarterback, $8,200. But as we said, like, it's okay to spend at quarterback sometimes just because of how much upside they bring. So I love the Lamar Jackson Hollywood Brown stack this week, especially against the Lions.
Yeah, I'm definitely in with that. It's to me, it's either him or looking for Mark Andrews, but I think Marquise Brown's been plenty involved. Him and Sammy Watkins have really been the main looks for Lamar Jackson so far. Marquise Brown
like, he's been so underrated the past year even. If you look at his past 8 games throughout the regular season, his lowest points scored is 12.5 in PPR. That's insane.
I was so frustrated with him last year. I drafted him in a few of my leagues. It was incredibly frustrating with the drops. And then in college, he was a stud. He was so good in college. I thought he was going to transfer really well to the NFL. It didn't. It was frustrating last year, but it's really started to come together late last year and now this year. So he's turned into a good option
for sure.
So for our second QB, then
do we want to go with a cheap one? Do we want to keep going with another expensive one?
Yeah, so I was thinking about another pairing for tight end and being Matt Ryan and Kyle Pitts.
I like that.
As one. Another option is...
Goff Hawkinson?
Yeah, Goff Hawk. I'm not as big on...
Although that would be a...
Goff looked good last week, but I like Matt Ryan and Kyle Pitts because with the total's 48 in this game... we're finally getting a nicer matchup for the Falcons. I think we'll see Matt Ryan play well.
Yeah, I agree. It's got to come around eventually. And Pitts, he's seeing the field. He's seeing snaps out wide and in the slot. So he's going to keep getting the targets. And I like Pitts.
It looks like Russell Gage is going to be out as well.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So even more
for
opportunity
Pitts.
for him.
And he's only at 5,100. That's a pretty solid price for him.
Yeah, he's a good price. Again, I do think that tight end is important. We've seen it so far with some successful lineups, is that spending on tight end is something you probably want to do.
Yeah. Let's see. What are we thinking here? Do we want to spend a little bit more on running back with this lineup?
Yeah, so I'm looking. I like Jonathan Taylor this week. I have him as a top 3 running back on the week. I do think that the running back position for the Colts will be extremely involved with Jacob Eason at quarterback. And the Titans defense is a good defense to go against as a running back. So that's one. Eckler I love this week too. I have him as the number 2 running back on the week. And his price is
$6,600.
His price is ridiculous compared to the rest, like the top tier here. Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey playing on Thursday. He's not in here, but again, I'm just worried that Eckler's going to be really heavily rostered.
That's fair. That could happen for sure. And if Jonathan Taylor will be a lot less rostered because he's been kind of disappointing the first 2 weeks, especially last week, 6 fantasy points.
People will be scared about the success of the offense, I think, but I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. So what do you think, JT over Eckler here, just because fading the public?
Yeah, basically. I think that's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes that's what you got to just make the tiebreaker be.
Do you think Tyson Williams will be someone?
Yes. I love Tyson Williams was in most of my lineups last week, so when he kept not scoring these touchdowns, it pissed me off a lot. But I think I'm good to go back to the Tyson well again because they're going to come, and it's the Lions. They suck. So I wouldn't mind a triple stack here with Lamar and Marquise.
Yeah.
Let's throw them in there. So then we have a wide receiver and 2 flex to go with 4,300 average.
Okay.
So we'll look at some wide receivers, some cheaper ones here. I don't mind Tim Patrick at 4,600 either.
Yeah, I think he's still a little underpriced, just considering his involvement.
Yeah.
How far separation is there between him and Cortland Sutton right now?
Sutton.
Find Sutton.
I think Sutton's at 55.
5,500. Okay.
So, I mean, I love Sutton too, but just do we want to spend up that much money? Because we only got 4,300 average left. So if we do go with Sutton, that would mean we have to get 3,000 range guys.
Right. Tim Patrick, I think, is a good option. I want to play. I want to go with Darnell Mooney though.
Yeah.
We have lots of room for that, but he's at 4,300.
Oh, okay.
Great price.
That's a great price for him. I love that. Then let's throw him in the lineup. Well, let's see. We'll put Mooney. Then if I do throw in, where is he?
You go with
Tim Patrick.
Tim Patrick.
Yeah. So yeah. How much we got left at that point? We'd have 4,000 left.
4,000. Okay, I think the thing is for me is that because we have the flex position, it's our flex spot. I'm less likely to go to running back because you said we have 4,000, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if we just went with Cortland Sutton and just took a minimum guy? Because we got 4,000 left anyway. So like, is there somebody at the 4,000 range that we like enough that would cover the difference between Sutton and Patrick?
Van Jefferson, Valdez Scantling. I like Valdez Scantling.
Yeah,
39.
He did have a good week last week. Sandy was right about that.
Again, high leverage targets. So those are the ones you want in these DFS and weeks or just week long formats. So,
yeah.
But so if we had Sutton, we'd be at what, 3K?
3.1.
3.1.
Put him on raw in the lineup.
Yeah, run a lot of routes.
I mean, these guys at 3,000 are just awful. Chester Rogers, honestly, I wouldn't mind throwing him in the lineup. He's actually been kind of good. He's had 10 fantasy points each of the first 2 weeks, and he's at 3,000.
Chester Rogers is?
Yeah, I'm surprised he's actually that low. He also is involved in kick returning, and you get return yards on OwnersBox.
That's
I actually really like that.
Consider that.
Putting Sutton and Chester Rogers as the final two.
Let's do that.
All right, there's the final lineup. We got the triple Raven stack. Always make sure you stack on these lineups. Like the stacks always win.
Yeah. You're just, again, we've said it before, but if you're making an investment on a quarterback and you're saying that he's going to be able to throw the ball around, throw a few touchdowns, well, let's get the guy that he's going to throw them to, and we're just going to double up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So again, be sure to check out the $50,000 Week 2 contest on OwnersBox. Promo code Drew9 if you haven't used it already for a free entry. And be sure to check out the Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped. Look, love the Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped. I have it. I've been a customer with Manscaped before they became sponsored of the show. Put it to use. If you use promo code BOX, 20% off. Like we're not getting like 5% off, a couple bucks, 20% off your purchase with Manscaped. You're also going to get free worldwide shipping with Manscaped, so be sure to check out the Lawnmower 4.0 and everything over at manscaped.com. If you enjoyed the video, please do drop a like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below if you got any questions for us about OwnersBox or sit decisions you have. Happy to answer them. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.